Hi! So we're working with patterns, and specifically we're working with labeling patterns with letters. We started talking about this yesterday, and today we'll get a chance to practice this some more. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make some letter labels, so little cards that look like this, that we can use to label patterns with. So there's 4 steps to making those letters. So you'll need a blank piece of paper, and we're going to fold it. So step number 1 says fold. Okay, so I'm going to start by folding it in half once. There's a fold. And then crease it. Then I'm going to fold it in half again. So far we've done 2 folds. Then fold it in half again. It's getting a little trickier because it's getting thick. 3 folds. Fold it in half one more time. And crease it. It's tricky. 4 folds. Okay, so you should have 4 folds on that paper. You can pause me and go ahead and fold your paper. And when you open it up, it'll look like this, and you can see all those different boxes. So pause me and do the first step. Fold. Okay, the second step up here says lines. So now on your paper, wherever those boxes are, you're going to just trace over it with a marker and make lines. So it looks like this, like a big grid. Okay, so it's 4 lines, I'm sorry, 3 lines going up and down, and 3 lines going side to side. Okay, so pause me and do the lines. Okay, step number 3, letters. So now in these boxes, you'll want to make letters. You're going to do a row of A, a row of B, row of C, a row of D. Okay, so you'll have 4 of each. How many does that make, do you think? 4 fours. You might have to count and see how many is 4 fours. Okay, so you're going to now pause me and do the letters. Okay, we're on to the final step. Number 4 says cut. So now you're going to cut along those lines that you drew. And then you'll have letters that look like this after you cut them out. And we'll use those today to label patterns. Okay, are you ready to move on to labeling patterns? Okay, so hopefully you paused me, you did the cutting, and you're all set to go. So the next part of what we're doing today is pretty fun. At least I think it's fun. But you get to go around your house and create patterns. And the cool thing about patterns is you can make them as tricky as you want. Okay, so make them as tricky. And if you want extra letters, like you're like, I want to make a pattern that has 5 different parts to it, you might need to make another sheet of letters. So you're adding like E or F or G. Okay, so if you need to make some more letters, you go ahead and do that. But let's start off with some patterns that I made. So I went around my house and made some patterns with things I could find. Here's my first one. Here's my pattern. Spoon, fork, spoon, fork, spoon, fork. So that's my first pattern. And yesterday when we talked about labeling patterns, we said that we're going to take the first part of our pattern and we're going to give it the first letter in the alphabet. So what letter would this spoon get? The first part of my pattern gets the first letter of the alphabet. So it would get A. Okay. So I'm going to put an A by that one. Okay. So that one gets A. Now, here's the next part of the next thing in my pattern. Is it the same as the first part or different? Okay, it's different. It's not the same. So it has to get a different letter. So since A is already taken, I go to the next letter. What's the next letter? Okay, B. So that one gets a B. I'm going to put a B by that one. Okay. Now we're at the next part of our pattern. Now, is this the same as something else we've already used in our pattern or different? Yeah, it's the same. It's the same as this spoon, right? So what letter should it get? A. Right, so all the spoons in my pattern should get the letter A. Now here's a fork. Do I have a fork already? Yep, what letter should the fork get? B. Yep, and here's a spoon. What letter should my spoon get? A. And a fork. What letter should my fork get? B. Okay, so now I can read this pattern as either spoon, fork, spoon, fork, spoon, fork, or we can read it as A, B, A, B, A, B. And A, B is the part that goes over and over again, just like spoon, fork is the part that goes over and over. So when we label this pattern, we would call it an AB pattern. Okay, so this is an AB pattern. Spoon, fork, spoon, fork, spoon, fork, AB, AB, AB. Okay, there's an AB pattern. Okay, I'm ready for another one. This pattern, I found some rocks to use, and it's big, small, small, big, small, small. Okay, so from what you know about labeling patterns, I want you to think, this is the first part of our pattern, what letter will I give it? Okay. Yep, that one gets an A. A. What's this one get? This is the second part of our pattern. Is it the same as this? Oh, it's different, so it needs a different letter. So what letter will it get? Okay, it gets a B. How about this one? What will this one get? A, B. Yep, that's the same as the other small rock, right? So what letter should it get? B. So far we have A, B, B. Now I have another big rock. Do we have a big rock already in our pattern? We do. So this should get a letter A. So far we have A, B, B. And then there's two small ones. So what letter do the small rocks get? Yep, we can look back over here. They get B. So A, B, B, A, B, and B. Okay, A, B, B, A, B, B. Okay, so that's the part that goes over and over again, right? A, B, B, A, B, B. What do you think this pattern is called then? It's called an ABB pattern. Okay, now I have one that I want you to try out. So I'm going to show you this one, and this one has 3 colors to it. So it goes blue, yellow, green, blue, yellow, green. See if you can figure out what letters you would use. Okay, so look at the first part of the pattern, and what letter would the first part of my pattern get? Okay, so here's the first part. It gets what letter? It gets an A. What about my second part? And is this the same as any of the other parts so far? So you have to go to the third letter in the alphabet. Okay, take a minute, and I want you to go ahead and think about what letters you would give this one, and go ahead and get out your cards and arrange them for this pattern. I'll get out my cards for it too. Okay, you ready to share? Okay, I say the first letter. We always know the first part of the pattern is always going to get the letter A. First part, first letter. Second part of the pattern, this is not the same, so it gets a new letter. It gets a second letter, so it gets B, A, B, and this one gets another letter too. It gets a C. The third part of my pattern gets a third letter in the alphabet. A, B, C. What will come next? Yes, A. And then what? B. And then what? C. So A, B, C. A, B, C. Blue, yellow, green, blue, yellow, green. A, B, C, A, B, C. So what kind of pattern will we call this one? What's the part that goes over and over again? A, B, C. So we call this an ABC pattern. Okay, so you get to try this out on your own today. So I want you to look around your house and find some things that you can make patterns with. And after you make the pattern, I want you to label it with your letters. Okay, so, and then think about, is this called an AB pattern? Is this called an ABB? Is it an AAB, ABC, ABCD? You could even get tricky or do something like ABAC. So maybe that first part comes back in again later. ABAC, ABAC, ABAC. So think about how tricky you can make your patterns and label those with letters. I'll be interested to see what kind of tricky patterns you come up with and how you label those. And think about too what each of the patterns would be called. What would the name of that pattern be? Okay, have fun with this one.